everyone, welcome. Happy Friday, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's really nice to be here. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a little while. I'm here to talk to you today about a really special class that we only have come around once in a blue moon, quite literally. The baby whispering class is back, and we are going to be diving in tomorrow to really understanding baby whispering. And I know a lot of you have questions, or you might be wondering about this class. So I wanted to do this live, and if you have questions, please pop your questions into the comment section, and I'm going to do my best to get through all of them. And if I don't, I'll come back later and reply in the comments. So baby whispering, it's really about understanding, first of all. A lot of the things that we're not taught, and the nuance of the communication, the relationship between each child and their environment, each child and their family, and each child and their parents, their caregivers, their teachers. And it's a class that actually, first and foremost, what you might want to know is there is so much content in this class. We literally have a jam-packed day. So it's a one-day class, and it is absolutely full, because through that one day we go through the process of talking about and coming to a more cognitive understanding of a lot of the really common issues. And I use the term issues because that's how they present as a lot of the things that are impeding or impairing the lives of children and their families today, whether that is behavioral, whether that is academic, whether that is body issues, whether that is mental health, whether that is anxiety, or whether that is things like physiological, psychosomatic issues that are really on the rise and have been on the rise for at least the last 10 years whilst I have been in practice. And my practice, my professional work, was specializing in pediatric and family care as a holistic practitioner. So I worked with this a lot, and I've worked with this daily. So giving you some of the information and helping you understand why some of the things that might not be making sense about why children are behaving or presenting the way they are in your home or in their school environment, why that's happening, understanding how to be able to communicate and integrate their needs with the needs of the environment that they are in. And finally, really coming to an empowered place with our relationship with children. And this relationship is also a reflection of our relationship with ourselves. And there's a lot of healing for us as adults that comes through in this class as well, because a lot of the understanding that we required and a lot of the empathy and empowerment that we required was missing throughout our childhoods. And so a lot of that gets cleared and facilitated through this class as well. But first and foremost, this class is created to be a really empowering space and place for parents to come. And I've tried to narrow it down again just because there is so much content. So I have put like an age bracket around it. And it's from preconception to 12 years of age. And over the course of the class, I go through so many of the common, like I said, not just issues, but situations, things that parents are dealing with right now, things in their social settings, things with technology, things with academic, and understanding the needs of their child and balancing that with the skills of their child and the preferences of their child. Okay, so that's one aspect of baby whispering. Another aspect of baby whispering is getting into some of the more difficult cases. There are a lot of children who come from or have experienced trauma in their life, or even trauma preconception. And this is a really interesting topic for either parents and families who have experienced it, but also as facilitators or practitioners. If you are working with children, if you're working with families and there has been trauma, and when I say trauma, that is any type of, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be emotional, It could have been there was a death in the family. It could have been there was a major accident. It could have been it's been a very stressful environment or a very stressful family environment whilst the woman was pregnant with that child. Could be that there was huge financial loss or a huge financial change in the family circumstances during or immediately before or after that pregnancy and birth. These are all things that affect children, but also affect first and foremost the family unit, and that affects the children. And there has been limited understanding in my experience. What happens is people don't really understand how this translates into affecting the child, because of the fact that they don't know what that child is perceiving. They don't understand how or why a baby or a baby in utero would be picking up on that stuff. But my experience and science shows that they do, because the child is picking up on everything that the mother is experiencing during pregnancy and immediately after pregnancy. As we move on, as the child gets older, again, there's lots of family dynamics, family issues that come up, and how that translates into affecting children, whether it's socially, whether it's their social skills, whether it is their communication skills, whether it's the fact that you now have an anxious child that's always complaining of sore tummies, of headaches, of not wanting to go to school, not wanting to interact with children or the rest of their family unit. These are all things that we see and we work with. And that's unfortunately becoming increasingly common as the stress levels in society, the stress levels for us as families and as individuals has dramatically increased over the last decade, the last 2 decades. And something that I worked with a lot during COVID was something called COVID babies. Now, those COVID babies are now COVID toddlers. Those COVID toddlers are going to turn into COVID preschoolers and primary schoolers. And there is a totally different way that these children present and that they have learned to interact with the world around them. And the levels of stress that we all experience, physically as well as emotionally and energetically, has also created a very different landscape for all of us as parents, as facilitators, and as educators. And this hasn't necessarily come through in our training or in the skills that we are taught or the information that we are taught, if any, about how to parent or how to teach. The information that we receive has not caught up to the dramatic changes in society, to the dramatic changes in where we are at and how we are functioning and the things that everyone has to deal with. So that's also a very practical part of the baby whispering class. And then lastly, there is, of course, the energetic healing, the energetic information, the energetic clearing, and facilitation that comes through. And this is where I said it's not just for the children, but it's also for the parents. It's also for caregivers. It's quite cathartic for everyone in the class. First of all, to be empowered with this information, because a lot of us have just never received it. Secondly, to be able to understand how to take that information and implement it into changes in the environment or changes in communication style or changes in teaching style. And then thirdly, a lot of the clearing work, the body whispering that comes into baby whispering, so the energetic healing work, the session, creates a blank space again where we might have had years of trauma that's built up, years of issues, problems, family dynamics that have built up, that have been carried over. When we become parents, are also carrying the trauma of our family units, things we've experienced through and with our parents throughout our childhood. And if we haven't had a safe place to process and leave that behind, that can taint our future going forward. So all of this is then incorporated and included. So with baby whispering, it's, to be honest, more family whispering. And by the way, this class, which is a one-day class, if you sign up to this class, children under 12 are free. You can bring your children. They don't have to pay attention to the class, but they can be around, they can receive the energetic work. The whole family can benefit from the healing that is available and facilitated through this class, and the understanding, the empathy, and the empowerment that is delivered through this class. It is a really special experience. I would love to have you guys join us. So if you have any questions, please let me know. One of the things that I'll be doing is allowing you to ask questions in the class, allowing you to be as interactive as you would like, talking about your specific questions, your specific circumstances, because we can all learn a lot from what somebody else is experiencing, because also a lot of what we think are very unique situations or circumstances that make us feel alone and isolated are actually shared experiences. A lot of parents are feeling alone. A lot of families feel like only they know what they are going through and that they are in a very unique situation. And whilst everyone is in a unique situation, it doesn't mean you can't be helped. It doesn't mean there are not similar stories out there and that you cannot feel like there is a community or a place where you can go and be held and helped and understood. And that's the environment that I hope to create in this class. So if you are a parent, if you are a facilitator, an educator, or a practitioner working with children, families, especially 0 to 12 years, if you're working with people or you yourself are trying to understand difficulties in trying to conceive or understanding how to make conception easy, how to have a healthy pregnancy that is mentally and physiologically empowering, not just physically. And if you're wanting to then be empowered in your parenting journey, this class is for you. So it's a one-day class. It's a full day and it's a full-on day, but there are breaks and there is a lunch break. If you miss the class or any part of the class, the replay will be sent to you and you'll have lifetime access to it. And the other really exciting thing happening with this class is when we do this class this year, in 2 months from now in October, we have the facilitators class coming soon after it. So that means once you've attended this baby whispering class, many of you are already body whispering facilitators or certified practitioners. You're then eligible to attend the add-on facilitator training, and you can then take this course material. There is a comprehensive manual training to add this on as a specialty in your facilitation toolbox, and you'll be able to facilitate these classes, these sessions, and these group sessions. It's really exciting. The reason I've decided to do that this year is this information is so valuable. This class is so valuable, and I normally don't have time in my roster, in my schedule, to facilitate it. So it's now a class that only comes around once every 2 years, not even once every 1 year. So in order to have more baby whispering around the world and more empowerment for parents and practitioners, I am creating facilitators who are already experienced and advanced practitioners of body whispering to add on this further training and qualification and then become baby whispering facilitators in the world, which I think is much needed and I'm very, very excited about. So if this is speaking to you, and especially I know there are a lot of you like myself, you work with parents already, you work with families already, you might even specialize in this field as an educator or as a practitioner. This is an amazing add-on, and I think it will assist you greatly in your work and also in your understanding and depth of understanding of what is happening with individual cases. So if you have any questions, please reach out. But the class is tomorrow. It is a one-day class, and then the facilitator ongoing training is October 20th and 21st. So I really look forward to meeting you guys and seeing you guys at these classes. If you need anything, let us know and we'll drop all of the links you need below. Take care and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. See you soon.